probably most importantly is that we're part of a global economy now. And as part of a global economy, our students need to understand what globalization means for our product, real estate. Even though real estate is fixed in location, and even if you may work domestically and perhaps not even work internationally, what goes on with a piece of real estate that you may own or be involved with is being affected by global trends, trade, etc. So you really need to understand what's going on in the global economy so that you can best position yourself in the marketplace.
Across all industries, we've learned in our studies that international aspects of business are extremely important. As applies to the real estate program, we've learned more about what are things that are taking place internationally. Investors in the U.S. are looking to buy properties internationally. International investors are coming to the U.S. to interact with American investors and developers to develop properties. From our travels that we've had abroad, we've had an opportunity to interact with very unique individuals from an array of countries. So we've interacted with people from Dubai, where they're building land literally out of the ocean. We've had opportunities to deal with investors from China and Japan on a trip that we took there, where we've learned more about the financial aspects that drive the markets in those respective countries and areas.
Attending these international trips has really taught us that we need to understand real estate on a global level. All of us will probably work at some point globally, either from the U.S. with people abroad or at some point abroad, and I think it's something that we need to be aware of.
The international trips are an integral component of our experience and curriculum here at UW-Madison. You can have the best professors, but there's really only so much you can learn in the classroom as it pertains to real estate. The Madison curriculum acknowledges this fact, and they encourage and force us essentially out into the real world. During 2 years, 20 months here on campus, we've taken domestic trips to Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York. And on top of that, we've taken international trips to France, Japan, and China. This is all within the span of 2 years, and it really forces you to expand your thinking of how the world works, and what might work in the United States from a real estate context doesn't necessarily translate internationally.
You know, one of the greatest components of our China trip this year was having board members along for the trip. They weren't afraid to ask some hard-hitting questions to some of the industry leaders that we met with in China. Through their experience, they knew the questions to ask, which really enhanced the learning experience for us as students.
International trips are unbelievable here, and one of the things that I look at as I'm going forward is how I'm going to be able to apply that to my career. And it may not be in the next 2 years necessarily, but what it's really opened my eyes to is that although you hear about all these international things and deals going through, until you go and see it, you can't really comprehend it.
The international trips add to the curriculum because it provides real-world case studies for us as students to bring back to our classroom to enhance the learning experience, to see how capital is flowing between countries, and see how developments and deals are structured in other nations, give you an insight that you wouldn't get at any other program in the U.S.